Hello fans! Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will dive deep into the dramatic twists and turns awaiting us on Thursday, June 5th, as emotions run high and secrets threaten to unravel in Port Charles. From fiery confrontations to courtroom chaos and heartfelt family discussions, this episode promises to keep us on the edge of our seats. Let's unpack all the juicy details, explore the motivations behind each character's actions, and speculate on the far-reaching consequences of these explosive events. First up, let's talk about the intense showdown between Brooklyn Quartermaine and Lulu Spencer. Picture this. The air is thick with tension as Brooklyn storms into Lulu's space, her eyes blazing with a mix of anger and betrayal. It's no accident that these two cross paths. Today word on the street is that Brooklyn didn't waste a single second after Gio's departure to seek out Lulu and settle the score. With raw emotion in her voice, Brooklyn unleashes a scathing accusation. "You've been plotting to shatter my world for years, and now you've finally done it." Her words cut like a knife, revealing the deep wounds of their fractured history. Brooklyn transforms into a fierce protector in this moment, ready to defend her family at all costs. Her maternal instincts kicking into overdrive as she confronts the woman she believes has orchestrated her pain. Meanwhile, Lulu, ever the master of self-preservation, likely dons her best innocent expression, batting her eyelashes as if she's been wrongfully accused. She might even spin a tale of misunderstanding, painting herself as the tragic heroine caught in a web not of her own making. But will Brooklyn buy this act? And more importantly, will the audience see through Lulu's facade? This clash isn't just a personal spat, it's a battle of wills that could redefine their dynamic for episodes to come. Perhaps there's an underlying layer of unresolved jealousy or past romantic entanglements fueling this fire, called a long-buried secret about a shared love interest be the true spark behind Brooklyn's rage. Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, this confrontation will leave lasting scars on both sides. Elsewhere in Port Charles, a quieter yet equally significant exchange unfolds as Laura Collins and Sonny Corinthos sit down to discuss pressing family matters. Imagine the weight of the moment as Laura, ever the voice of reason, meets with Sonny in a dimly lit corner of the town, away from prying eyes. Her brow furrows with concern as she warns him, "This could shake the very foundation of our families." Her words carry an ominous tone, hinting at the seismic fallout from recent revelations. It's almost a certainty that they're addressing the shocking truth about Gio Palmieri, whose life has been flipped upside down by unexpected news. This bombshell hasn't just affected Gio, it's sent shockwaves through friendships, alliances, and blood ties across the community. Laura, with her keen maternal instincts and sharp mind, has likely pieced together the puzzle connecting Lulu to the tangled web of adoption secrets surrounding Gio. Will she take on the role of the stern matriarch, delivering a much-needed lecture to Lulu about accountability and the consequences of her actions? Or will she soften, offering comfort to her daughter as she navigates the turbulent aftermath? One can't help but wonder if Laura herself feels a pang of guilt for not foreseeing this chaos sooner. After all, as a pillar of the Spencer family, she's often caught in the crossfire of their dramas. Adding a new layer to this storyline, perhaps Sonny brings his own perspective, sharing a personal anecdote from his past about a family secret that nearly destroyed him, urging Laura to guide Lulu with tough love rather than coddling. Their conversation might also touch on how to shield Gio from further pain, brainstorming ways to help the young man find his footing in a world that suddenly feels so unsteady. This heart-to-heart between Laura and Sonny isn't just a plot point, it's a poignant reminder of the fragility of family bonds and the lengths to which they'll go to protect their own. Finally, brace yourselves for an absolute roller coaster as Sasha Gilmore takes the stand in the highly charged divorce and custody battle. The courtroom is a pressure cooker, with tension so palpable you could cut it with a knife. As Sasha sits down, her nerves likely frayed from the scrutiny, Rick Lansing steps forward with a glint of determination in his eye. He poses a question that stops everyone in their tracks. "When was the last time you and Mr. Corinthos were intimate?" The room falls silent, the weight of the inquiry hanging heavy in the air. This isn't just a question, it's a calculated move to expose Sasha's vulnerabilities and paint her in a damning light. Whispers of this moment have already circulated among Port Charles insiders, and it's clear Rick intends to use every piece of dirt he's unearthed to dismantle Sasha's credibility. The fallout is immediate. Guests echo through the gallery, and Sasha's composure begins to crack under the intense pressure. But the drama doesn't stop there. As emotions surge, Sasha is gripped by sudden, intense pain, a signal that she's going into premature labor right there in the courtroom. Chaos ensues as paramedics rush in, and the judge bangs the gavel in a frantic attempt to restore order. Amidst this pandemonium, eyes turn to Nina Reeves, whose icy stare from the sidelines suggests she might have anticipated this exact turn of events. Rumor has it Nina knew Eva Jerome would leak compromising information about Sasha and strategically position herself to avoid any direct blame. But as Sasha is wheeled out on a stretcher, clutching her abdomen, will Nina's conscience finally catch up with her? The guilt could haunt her for weeks, manifesting in sleepless nights and tearful confessions to unlikely confidants. There's a chilling possibility that the writers might take this tragedy even further could the unthinkable happen, with Sasha losing the baby as a result of this stress. Such a loss would not only devastate Sasha but also send shockwaves through Nina, Eva, and everyone connected to this case, forcing them to confront the consequences of their schemes. Beyond the immediate crisis, this courtroom debacle might also prompt Sasha to reevaluate her alliances in Port Charles, seeking out new friends or even a surprising protector who could help her rebuild after such a public humiliation. Will she emerge from this ordeal stronger, or will it break her spirit entirely? In conclusion, Thursday's episode of General Hospital is shaping up to be a masterclass in drama, heartbreak, and raw human emotion. From Brooklyn's fiery clash with Lulu to Laura and Sunny's heavy-hearted discussion, and Sasha's catastrophic moment on the stand, every scene is poised to deliver unforgettable moments. These storylines aren't just about conflict, they're about the complex tapestry of relationships, trust, and betrayal that define life in Port Charles. So, grab your popcorn and prepare for an hour of television that will leave you reeling. What do you think? Will Brooklyn ever forgive Lulu, or is their rift beyond repair? Can Laura and Sunny protect their families from further turmoil? And will Sasha and her unborn child survive the chaos of the courtroom? Next, we will uncover the brewing storm in Port Charles as Elizabeth Baldwin, Lucky Spencer, Alexis Davis, and Christina Corinthos Davis potentially unite to dismantle a sinister blackmail scheme orchestrated by Rick Lansing and Eva Jerome. This episode, airing insights from the June 2nd drama, promises a web of deception, hidden truths, and strategic alliances that could change the game for everyone involved. Let's dive into the heart of this intricate plot with fresh perspectives, inventive twists, and a closer look at the high stakes that threaten to shatter lives in this beloved town. Kicking things off, let's explore the seismic revelation that unfolded when Lucky Spencer finally bared his soul to Elizabeth Baldwin. In a quiet, tension-filled moment, perhaps under the dim glow of a hospital break room, Lucky confessed his role in shielding Christina after a harrowing car accident involving Rick. The air between them crackled with unspoken questions as Liz absorbed the gravity of his words, her expression shifting from shock to a quiet, empathetic understanding. Surprisingly, she didn't lash out but instead offered a nod of support for his choice to protect Christina, recognizing the impossible position he was placed in. However, Lucky didn't shy away from the darker truth, admitted that his silence could drag him into legal trouble, as concealing Christina's act of tampering with Rick's car makes him an accessory to a crime. This bombshell confession might have been delivered over a shared cup of coffee, a symbolic gesture of their enduring bond despite years of turmoil. But the question looms, has Lucky revealed the full extent of Rick and Eva's blackmail over Alexis and Christina? If he hasn't yet, the moment he does, it could be a game changer. Imagine Liz's face contorting with disgust as she learns Rick not only hid the truth about the accident from her but also colluded with Eva to siphon funds from young Ace Casadin's inheritance. This betrayal might ignite a fire in Liz, pushing her to see Rick in a new and flattering light, perhaps recalling past manipulations she'd long buried. Adding a creative twist, maybe Liz stumbles upon an old letter or memento from her early days with Rick, a stark reminder of the trust she once placed in him, making his current deceit cut even deeper. This emotional backdrop sets the stage for a daring counterattack that could spell doom for Rick and Ava's scheming partnership. Next, let's delve into the tantalizing possibility of a calculated plan forming among Liz, Lucky, Alexis, and Christina to turn the tables on their adversaries. Picture a late-night strategy session at Alexis's home. The group huddled around a cluttered table strewn with legal documents and coffee cups, plotting their next move with steely determination. Liz and Lucky might concoct a ruse to feign a dramatic breakup, a public spat orchestrated to lure Rick into believing he has a renewed shot at winning Liz's heart. Rick, ever the opportunist with a lingering obsession for the head nurse, could fall headlong into this trap, his ego blinding him to the setup. Since his return to Port Charles, he's harbored fantasies of rekindling their romance, often seen lingering near the hospital with hopeful glances in Liz's direction, perhaps even sending her small, nostalgic gifts like a bouquet of her favorite flowers tied to a memory from their past. Meanwhile, this ploy would drive Ava to the brink of madness, her jealousy over Liz boiling over, as she's already shown hints of possessiveness in fleeting glares and sharp comments. This discord could fracture Rick and Ava's alliance, with Rick's willingness to ditch Ava at the slightest chance of reclaiming Liz, exposing the fragility of their partnership. To add a layer of intrigue, perhaps Ava overhears a staged argument between Liz and Lucky at a local diner, her suspicions mounting as she misinterprets their performance as genuine, pushing her to confront Rick in a fiery exchange that exposes cracks in their trust. This internal chaos among the blackmailers could be the perfect opening for our quartet to strike, dismantling their scheme from within while keeping their own hands seemingly clean. Further intensifying the stakes, imagine the group taking drastic measures to erase damning evidence against Christina. In a clandestine operation under the cover of darkness, Liz, Lucky, Alexis, and Christina might track down Rick's sabotaged car, perhaps hidden in a rundown garage on the outskirts of town, and arrange for its destruction. They could enlist a discreet contact, maybe an old friend of Lucky's with a shady past, to torch the vehicle, ensuring no trace remains of Christina's tampering with the brakes. The tension of this mission would be palpable, with each creak of the garage door or distant car engine spiking their adrenaline, knowing one wrong move could expose them all. Simultaneously, there's the matter of Ava's incriminating video of Christina's actions, stored like a ticking time bomb on her phone. The team might brainstorm a clever distraction, say, Christina staging a public breakdown at a gallery event Ava hosts, giving Lucky a window to swipe the device during the commotion. Adding a new element, perhaps Ava has a backup of the video on a hidden USB drive stashed in a safety deposit box, a paranoid precaution that could complicate the group's efforts if discovered. Successfully eliminating this evidence would be a massive victory, but the risk of being caught mid-scheme looms large, threatening to pull them deeper into a legal quagmire. This covert operation underscores the lengths to which they'll go to protect one another, painting a vivid picture of loyalty amid desperation. On another front, let's not forget the precarious position Alexis finds herself in after a probing visit from Laura Collins. Envision the scene. Laura, with her piercing gaze, sits across from Alexis in her law office, casually sipping tea while pointedly asking about the mysterious disappearance of $10 million from Ace's trust fund. Alexis, ever the sharp-minded attorney, weaves a tapestry of half-truths and deflections with the ease of a seasoned pro, her voice steady despite the sweat likely beating at her temple. She's bought herself a fleeting reprieve, but the clock is ticking. If the truth surfaced that she, alongside Rick and Ava, dipped into the Casadini fortune through embezzlement, Alex risks not only prison time, but the loss of her law license. A devastating blow to her identity and livelihood. Christina, implicated in attempted murder for the car sabotage, faces even graver consequences, her future hanging by a thread. To add depth, perhaps Alexis confides in a trusted paralegal late one night, admitting her fear of losing everything, revealing a vulnerable side rarely seen as she grapples with protecting her daughter at all costs. There's also a chance Laura's suspicions grow after noticing inconsistencies in financial records during a follow-up audit, potentially bringing her closer to the trio's guilt. This looming threat adds a layer of urgency to the group's efforts to outmaneuver Rick and Ava, knowing one misstep could send their carefully constructed lives crashing down. Lastly, let's ponder the moral and emotional fallout of this elaborate deception. While watching Rick squirm as he realizes Liz played him like a fiddle would be undeniably satisfying, imagine his face twisting in shock at a staged reconciliation gone wrong in a crowded Kelly's unearthed long-term consequences for Alexis and Christina weigh heavily. Deceiving Rick might bruise his ego, a small victory given his history of manipulation, but it doesn't erase the underlying crimes. A new angle could be Liz wrestling with guilt over stooping to Rick's level of deceit, confiding in a close friend like Epiphany at the hospital about whether the ends justify the means. Perhaps the wiser path for Alexis and Christina is to come clean, facing the legal repercussions head-on to reclaim some semblance of integrity. This choice could lead to a powerful courtroom scene where Christina tearfully admits her actions, seeking leniency, while Alexis sacrifices her career to shield her daughter. A testament to maternal love. The battle to stop Rick and Ava from plundering the Casadini fortune is critical, but at what cost to their own souls? This ethical dilemma adds a rich, introspective dimension to the storyline, inviting viewers to question where justice truly lies in this tangled web of lies and loyalties. In wrapping up, this chapter of General Hospital is shaping up to be a masterclass in suspense, strategy, and raw emotion. From Lucky's earth-shattering confession to Liz, to the audacious plans to outsmart Rick and Ava, and the ever-present shadow of legal doom over Alexis and Christina. Every moment is charged with intensity. These intertwined plots remind us of the fragile balance between right and wrong in Port Charles, where every choice ripples through families and futures. What do you think? Will Liz and Lucky's ruse succeed, or will Rick see through the charade? Can Alexis keep Laura at bay, or is the truth inevitable? Next, we will unravel the explosive drama surrounding Nina Reeves as her web of lies and deceit comes crashing down in Port Charles. This weekend's episode promises a courtroom showdown filled with shocking revelations, bitter rivalries, and high-stakes consequences that could alter the lives of many key players. From the tangled Corinthos custody battle to the scandalous drugging of Drew Cain, Nina's secrets are on the verge of being exposed, thanks to Curtis Ashford's relentless pursuit of the truth. Join us as we dive into every twist and turn of this gripping crossover storyline, adding fresh details and creative spins to paint a vivid picture of the chaos unfolding. Let's start with the devastating unraveling of Nina Reeves, whose carefully constructed facade is about to shatter in the most public of Aaron-esque courtroom. Imagine the scene. The air is heavy with anticipation as Nina sits stiffly in her seat, her polished exterior barely masking the panic brewing beneath. Her history of deception, manipulation, and shifting blame has finally caught up with her, and there's no escape from the reckoning ahead. This isn't just a personal downfall, it's the culmination of years of schemes that have left a trail of broken trust in her wake. The lies she's spun, from gaslighting those closest to her to orchestrating scandals behind closed doors, are ready to be laid bare for all of Port Charles to see. Adding a new layer to this drama, perhaps Nina has been keeping a secret journal hidden in her office at Crimson, detailing her every movie, a potential bombshell that could surface if discovered by the wrong hands during the trial. Her nervous glances around the room might betray her fear of this very possibility, as she knows one wrong move could seal her fate. This moment of exposure isn't just about Nina's crimes, it's a stark reminder of how far she's fallen from the woman who once sought redemption. Now standing on the precipice of losing everything she holds dear in a public humiliation that will echo through the town for weeks. Next, let's explore the intricate web of rivalries and overlapping storylines that tie Nina's fate to the broader dramas of Port Charles. Picture the bitter tension between Willow Tate and Michael Corinthos as their custody battle rages on. A conflict so tightly interwoven with the drugging scandal involving Drew Cain that every decision reverberates across both narratives. Key figures like Carly Spencer and Curtis Ashford play pivotal roles in both sagas, their actions creating ripple effects that could tip the scales in unexpected ways. The courtroom becomes a battleground where old grudges and new betrayals collide. Perhaps Carly and Willow exchange a charged look across the aisle, a silent acknowledgement of their shared stake in seeing Nina held accountable. To add depth, imagine a flashback scene shown during the trial, revealing a heated argument between Nina and Michael months prior at the Quartermain mansion, where harsh words about family loyalty foreshadowed the custody war now unfolding. This crossover of storylines isn't just a plot device, it's a testament to the interconnected lives in Port Charles, where personal vendettas and legal battles blur into a single, messy fight for justice and control. As the judge calls for order amid rising voices, it's clear that the outcomes here will reshape family dynamics and power structures for the foreseeable future. Now, let's turn to the pivotal moment when Nina's darkest secrets are dragged into the light, courtesy of some shocking courtroom revelations. According to the latest whispers around Port Charles, Carly takes the stand with a steely glint in her eye. ready to expose Nina's involvement in the drugging of Drew Kane to Drew himself and the entire court. Visualize the gasp that ripples through the room as Carly recounts every detail, her voice cutting through Nina's defenses like a knife. Meanwhile, Curtis Ashford, ever the determined investigator, has tracked down Jacinda, a key witness whose testimony could be the final nail in Nina's coffin. Perhaps Curtis corners Jacinda at a dimly lit diner on the edge of town, persuading her with a mix of charm and urgency to come forward, promising protection in exchange for her truth. Jacinda's potential testimony that Nina paid her to spike Drew's drink with ketamine could be the definitive proof needed to bury Nina's credibility. To add a creative twist, maybe Jacinda hesitates at first, revealing she has her own child to protect and fears Nina's wrath, adding a humanizing layer to her decision as Curtis appeals to her conscience with a personal story of his own family's struggles. This bombshell isn't just about Nina's guilt, it's a moment of reckoning for Drew as well, who must confront the betrayal of someone he once trusted, all while grappling with the knowledge that Portia Robinson, who obtained the drug, escaped his initial wrath because he wrongly pinned the crime on Tracy Quartermaine. The layers of deception unveiled here promise emotional fireworks that will keep viewers glued to their screens. Moving forward, let's delve into the strategic maneuvers Curtis employs to protect his wife, Portia, while ensuring Nina faces the consequences of her actions. Envision Curtis pacing in his office at Aurora Media, his mind racing with plans to safeguard Portia's reputation after learning she sourced the ketamine used on Drew. His loyalty to Portia is unwavering, and sources suggest he might broker a discreet deal with Jacinda to keep Portia's name out of the testimony entirely, perhaps offering financial support or relocation assistance to secure her silence on that front. This negotiation could take place in a tense, late-night meeting at a secluded park bench, where every word is weighted with the risk of exposure. However, if Jacinda does testify against Nina, the fallout could be catastrophic for Nina's relationship with Willow. Losing Willow's trust and connection would be a personal blow to Nina, stripping away the familial bond she's fought so hard to maintain. Adding an inventive detail, maybe Curtis uncovers an old audio recording of Nina discussing payment with Jacinda, stashed on a forgotten burner phone in a pawn shop, which he uses as leverage to ensure Jacinda's cooperation without implicating Portia. This protective chess game Curtis plays isn't just about saving his wife, it's a desperate bid to maintain some semblance of stability in their lives amid the chaos Nina's actions have wrought, showcasing his role as both a strategist and a devoted husband. Finally, let's examine the broader implications of Curtis's plan on the Corinthos custody battle and the safety of Willow and Michael's children. Picture the courtroom drama reaching a fever pitch as Michael's legal team seizes on Nina's crimes to argue that Willow's home environment to Nina's direct influence as a grandparent poses a risk to their children. The judge's stern expression as this argument unfolds could signal a turning point, with experts whispering that Curtis's exposure of Nina might inadvertently tip the custody scales in Michael's favor. To enrich this narrative, imagine a heartfelt sidebar where Willow confides in a close friend like Sasha Gilmore outside the courthouse, tearfully admitting her fear of losing her children due to Nina's reckless behavior, a confession that underscores the emotional toll of this battle. Nina's criminal involvement, once fully exposed, paints her as a toxic influence, potentially leading to restricted access or complete estrangement from her grandchildren, a heartbreaking consequence she never anticipated when she set her schemes in motion. Additionally, perhaps a social worker is called to testify about home visits, noting Nina's frequent, unannounced presence at Willow's house, further damning the perception of safety there. This ripple effect of Curtis's actions highlights how deeply personal betrayals can intersect with legal outcomes, threatening to tear apart the fragile threads of family in Port Charles and leaving Nina to face the ultimate price of her duplicity. In closing, this weekend's episode of General Hospital is set to deliver a masterclass in drama, betrayal, and retribution as Nina Reeves's empire of lies crumbles under the weight of truth. From Carly's courtroom bombshell and Curtis's relentless pursuit of justice to the devastating impact on Willow and Michael's custody fight, every moment is charged with tension and consequence. These storylines remind us of the fragile balance of trust and deception that defines life in Port Charles, where every secret has a price. What do you think? Will Nina ever recover from this public downfall? Or is her redemption arc over for good? Can Curtis protect Portia without sacrificing others in the crossfire? Drop your predictions and thoughts in the comments below. We're eager to hear your take. Stay tuned to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel for more updates as we follow every shocking twist in this captivating saga. Until next time, keep watching and wondering what's next for our favorite residents.